good, everybody? What's good? It's your boy Doc Holliday. We back with another HBCU OverDrive live stream. Make sure that you like this stream, comment, share, most of all, subscribe, become an OverDrive fan, and also make sure you hit that notification bell to get everything HBCU OverDrive. So let me go ahead and get my ticket going on right here. Got to do some editing on it. So what we got going on? What we got going on? All right. See what we got going on over here. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Make sure everybody's coming in right now. Make sure everybody's coming in right now. Make sure we got people coming in. Make sure you comment, tell me where you from. Comment, tell me where you from, what school you represent, and we're trying to get this thing rolling. We're gonna get this thing rolling up here tonight. Trying to do a little bit do things different. Oh, Dragon 1998. You are a contributor to the channel because your son plays in the Sonic Boom, even though you went to UAB. But you are a contributor to the channel. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming in. See who else we got in the chat coming on in the chat, y'all. Make sure you see who else we got coming in the chat right now. See who else got coming in the chat. Who else is coming in the chat? So while everybody's coming in the chat, uh, tell me where you from, what school you represent. And I got some feedback from a lot of people from the show from Tuesday night. Uh, what we saw from Tuesday night, we had a lot of people that really liked the show, what we talked about on Tuesday. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna make sure that this is a non-judgmental forum. This is a excuse me, a non-judgmental, no judge zone, no judging zone channel. Uh, I don't do that. I ain't trying to do that goofy shit. I'm just letting everybody know um, what it is, what it's all about. So this is my forum, and pretty much gonna do this probably gonna try to do this every Thursday evening. See who else we got up in here. Got Thetis Hardy. What's going on? What's going on? How you doing? How you doing, my brother? That fella. Man, thank you, bro. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for tuning in today. Trying to see who else is coming in. My boy B, Brandon, what's good? What's good, my boy? You know what I'm saying? With the Lincoln University, PA. Hey, but you look, man. It don't matter what school you went to. If it's an HBCU, it's all love right here. What's good, Blue? My boy Blue Bloods, man. He out there grinding like always, grinding. You know, check out the Blue Bloods. Check out all the interviews that he did from a pro day, from Jackson State's combined pro day. Man, it's interesting. Don't matter. I want to see it, brother Picard. Man, he was on fire on Tuesday. He was on fire, fire. I'm That's something that I don't really talk. Trying to get into, but shoot, he almost made man. Look, I'm trying to figure out where my head is. He almost made me try to put the cat, past the collection plate. He almost made me try to pass the collection plate on Tuesday. But we needed something like that. We needed to hear something like that. And we are continuing the discussion from Tuesday. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't read what I put out there, Um, and let me put a banner out there. Let me put that out there. And I want to understand. I want to make sure people understand what I'm coming from. Try to get a full house. We gonna let me see if we get 50 viewers in here. Uh, before we start it up, man, we're gonna try to get 50 viewers. Make sure we get the likes up. If I got my moderators in here, make sure that we get the likes. Make sure we get the likes up. Also, we are doing disaster relief for Rolling Fork. Um, we are doing disaster relief for Rolling Fork. So what I did now was now instead of my cash app being my personal, is because that's my personal cash app, I created a business side for the cash app, and all you have to do is on the screen. It's going to HBCU OverDrive. $ HBCU OverDrive. See who else we got in here. Big B, what it do? What it do? What's good? Okay, you know what? I got a fan right here because sometimes it get kind of hot. It get kind of hot in this area because unlike some people, I do my shows from the dining room table, and I'm next to a damn deep freezer. That's what we do. Like the stream as you join. Make sure you like the stream as you join. Blue, let me know if I got any feedback coming in, bro. Got Sam Smith. What's good? What's good? Jackson State's own Sam Smith. What's good? How you doing? Welcome in. Um, so like I said, we're doing disaster relief, and I'm gonna put that in the chat for everybody to see. Um, so let me get this going. But I've been up for a minute. Um, basically, had to take the missus to the airport. She is on leave right now for her new job. So she is in Missouri on assignment. So she's checking it out as we speak. Val B, Miss Dina, how you doing? Happy Friday Eve. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Wait, hold on now. Checking in from Germany. Man, we international up in this thing right here, y'all. We international in here. All right. Make sure everything's good. Put this out here. All right. Let me see. Let me put this in the chat. There we go. And I'm gonna pin it to the top. That way everybody can see it. And if anybody want to copy it, anybody want to copy it to where we're gonna donate, um, just send it out every so often. And also, if you donate, I will shout you out. to let you know, to let me know, to let you know that I got the donation. Yes, ma'am. DFW in the house as always. I am in Dallas. For those that do not know, I live in Dallas. I'm born and raised here in Dallas. Went to Jackson State though. But let me see what we got going on. So, as I said, man, this is gonna be a judgment. You know, none judge. We ain't judging nobody in here. Um, but if you come with that foolishness, if anybody come with that foolishness, if I got my moderators in here, please go ahead and zap them out. Um, we don't need all that negativity. We don't need none of that stuff. Just zap them out. Just zap them out. So, like I said, I had got feedback from everybody that commented on Tuesday's show, and the feedback was great. It was great. So we're gonna continue that non-judge, zone up in here. Um, we let y'all, you want to talk about, you want to air out your differences, or you want to speak about the subject at hand. I did put the link to the stream in. I don't have a call-in, official call-in show, but this is how we do it. So that's what we're gonna do. So, 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 that last show, I'm gonna tell y'all what happened with the last show. The last show I did 1.4 of 1.4K, and it's still going. 1.4K, and it's still going. It is still going, y'all. That's what we did on the last show. We try to get the show to where it's recommended in the YouTube algorithm. Um, that way, I don't have to put it in just in Twitter or on face, send it to Facebook. That it would be in the algorithm and it would be recommended. But this is what we're gonna talk about. So what we're gonna talk about right now, we're gonna continue the discussion. Are HBCUs the new JUCOs? Are HBCUs the new JUCOs? What do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is back then. So let's go back. Back then, we all know HBCU football. We always get the last bits. We always get the scraps. We get the rejects. That's what they call it. That hasn't that most Power Fives and some Group of Fives will not touch these kids with, especially on the football field. Okay, but and when those kids don't get picked up by the powers that be, they end up going to HBCUs. And so what we do is we develop them. We develop these kids not only on the field, but we develop them off the field. And I mean, it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. I want to say a bad thing, but we also see, you have the good and you have the bad. The good is that we treat these kids just like they are our own. They are not, because when you're in college, you get that ID, your your student ID, you are considered a number. Most Power Fives, you are considered, big, predominantly white schools, you're considered a number. It might be some that might know you by your first name. They might call you by Mr. or Mrs. and then your last name, and keep on moving. You'll probably sit in the classroom. One class might have maybe 150 to 200 students, but coming to a HBCU, you're treated as a you're treated as a human being. We treat you as a human being. We don't treat you as a number. We'll call you by your first name, or we'll give you a greeting, you know, a formal greeting. Oh no, the Mad Hatter is here, man. You my boy, man, but don't start no mess. Don't start no mess. Let's see. Let me see what my boy Blue said. Savage. That's new reality for SVS programs. A Lord Group of Five program that puts pressure on coaches to build a good culture and give kids a reason to stay each season. Well put. That is well put, bro. I give you that. That is well put. Um, but we don't, we treat our students at our institutions as a person, as a student. We treat them as, like I said, as if they are our own. We treat you like we are an extension of your parents. If you understand what I'm saying. We are an extension of your parents. So if you get out of line, if Junior get out of line, the first thing they gonna do is they gonna call your mama. They gonna call your dad. They gonna call whoever you stay with, and basically, basically they gonna get the okay to say, hey, you need to get your shit together. Got brother Bakari in here. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Got my boy Chuck Hunt coming in from Monroe. But it's all love. Now what you see is now what you see is kids that go to a power five. They walk onto a power five, right? They walk onto a power five program, and what happens is they don't see the field maybe for like 2 to 3 years. Uh, an example I can give is Jocelyn Lear. He came from Alabama, you know, tearing it up in practice. He couldn't get on the field at Alabama because Alabama was loaded at receivers. Alabama was stacked with receivers. Devon, Devontae Smith was on that same squad. Josh couldn't see the field. He couldn't see the field. He could not see the field. So what did he do? His senior, for his senior year, he transferred to Jackson State. That is true, Oz. He, but he transferred to Jackson State. He worked his butt out to get on the field. He was a starter at the beginning of the year for Jackson State. Um, Started off hot, kind of tailed off towards the end, battling injuries, but he did enough to he did enough for himself to get an invite to the USFL. He did enough to get an invite to the USFL. I think he got enough for an invite to a CFL tryout. I don't know what he's doing right now, but he put in the work to try to get those opportunities for him. Um, and he stayed. He graduated. Um, and he went out to new endeavors. Let's see what my boy Blue said. I think another big issue is that fans generalize things too much. Every kid isn't made for every school. Each kid needs to make a decision best for them. Transferring may be their best option. And I agree with you on that. I truly agree with you on that. You have to do what's best for you. You have to do as a young adult, you have to do what's best for you. Now, what we can say is back then, you know, kids it they couldn't make it on the field at a Power Five or back then what we used to call those BCS schools. They they leave, they transfer to a JUCO. They transfer to a JUCO. They do what they had to do. They do what they have to do. They'll probably stay a year or two to make sure that they get themselves right. Most kids will stay a year, some will stay two. Excuse me. And basically, when they feel like they've done enough of what to get on the field, to warrant themselves to get on the field, they go to some might go back to their original school, and then some go to another school that fits them best. Let's see what you got, Oz. See, most of these high school athletes aren't as good as they think because all their coaches and family members lie to them about their true value to a university. That's a good point, man. That's a good point. That's a good point. So HBCUs, like I said, back then, um, in the '90s, late '80s, early '90s, they wouldn't even be able to recruit a kid from a perennial powerhouse school. And like I said, say for instance, I live in Dallas. I'm like I said, I'm from Dallas. Back then, in the '90s, powerhouse schools like Euless Trinity, South Lake Carroll, um, I would say a Lake Highlands. Let me see what's another school. Longview, which is still in the is still in the region. Those coaches do they back then they used to do our institutions a disservice. They used to do our institutions a disservice, saying that you're not going to get on the field. Don't nobody come out of black. They don't come out of black colleges. But given a chance, given a chance and an opportunity, I seen a lot of kids. I seen a lot of dudes go to HBCUs, do the damn thing, graduate. If they get picked up in a league, good for them. Like seriously, seriously. But now, my boy Blue, he's on here. I know he's doing a lot of he's doing some other things, but he's tuning in and he's giving out his nuggets. Say on the other hand, chasing those NIL dollars can cost the kid those NFL dollars too. We need to make sure these guys get the proper information to make the right decision. That is so that is so factual, bro. That is factual. That is factual. Um, Said two sons played LB Bell. Oh yeah, y'all, man. Look, if y'all don't know BLW or Texas football, North Texas football, you talking about Euless Trinity, like they have a they have a Polynesian pipeline of players. HBCU, the new JUCO, no, just some HBCUs, not all HBCUs, and that's cool and that's true. I mean, it's true. Also, the high school coaches also use high profile recruits to move ahead in their own careers. That was so true. That was so true. And this is something that dawned on me. Uh, Blue told us last night. He told me last night that the NCAA made a rule where if you if you are a coach, you coach the kid, you send the kid to said school, you can't have you cannot have no type of relation with that kid for I think he said like 3 to 4 years. So basically you're not gonna see that kid. So once that kid goes, then you go ahead and go to said college, to be a coach. Hey, brother Bakari, if you want to, man, I'm send the link in for you for the to jump on the stream. If you want to, you can jump on the stream and you can tell, explain to most people about how you feel. What I'm saying, give me your differences about that. Another, yeah, yeah, and that's messed up. And you're HBCU royalty, so that's crazy. But let's see, 4 or 5 star recruits have to be on a mission, come to HBCUs in both year in and year out in order to change things. Yes. And like I said, this is a no judgment show right here. I got my boy, my guy, brother Bakari coming on the show. How you doing today?
I'm good, my brother. What's going on, Doc? What's going
Man,
on to your chat?
we doing good, man. We doing good. Um so
What I
just
wanted to explain about my what I put in the chat was right. My
go ahead.
oldest my oldest son. When my oldest son graduated high school, he's 31 now. He graduated, he had about 20, he had between 22 and 25 D1 offers, right?
Mm-hmm.
He ended up going to JUCO. The whole while he was there, we were talking, he told the coach he wanted to go to JSU, right?
Right.
He wanted to go to JSU. Trust me, he had no stars, so he went to one camp. He went to Auburn camp. He went to Auburn, then Mississippi State, 2 camps, and it ended up being like a 3-star. Florida State, Mississippi State. But he wanted to go, those schools were offering him, but he had smaller FBS schools too. He wanted to go to Jackson State. But this coach, this is a black coach, literally had no contact with not one HBCU. So then I realized I started seeing the schools that's coming down. So I'm like, oh, he got connections. So what he was do, he would try to, and this is why I say men need to be more involved, because sometimes our women don't understand, right?
Right.
So what he started trying to do was go around me, call my son so my son can talk to this coach or that coach. And I told him, no, you don't do that. You can't have a meeting with my son about what school he should go to. He's my son.
Right.
You're his football coach. He didn't have, I'm not one. And I realized they get paid. If you look up, it happened at a high school in Memphis one time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say his name, and I knew this guy. He was from Mississippi. But if you look up one time, a coach named Lynn Lane, high school coach in Memphis, Tennessee, named Lynn Lane.
Okay.
And he got caught taking payments to send some of his best players to Alabama.
Wow.
And that's what happened because the single mothers sometimes don't understand. So the kids are getting pimped, right? The college is making all the money off them. Then his high school coach getting new cars and houses and whatnot. And the child and the parent, when people think, oh, they getting money under the table, lots of the time they're getting nothing.
Right.
And if they do, the high school coach is getting more than them. So we have to be more involved if we want our children to go to an HBCU, go to a best fit. And I know everybody's not going to go, so I'm going to go close to home where the parents can, where the parents can come see them play and all that. But I still say most of our talent need to be with us. But that's one of the biggest problems is the high school coaches. And if you don't believe me, and if you got any children that play football or basketball,
Mm-hmm.
start getting involved. Watch out a high school coach really when it comes to colleges or whatever. He really don't want to talk to you. At
Right.
least that's my experience. That was my experience. And he want to choose the school. So whenever my son would mention Jackson State, well, what about Southern Miss? They're in Mississippi. What about Memphis? See, I was just talking to Memphis coach the other day. They real high on him. They ready for him to come. Well, but we didn't say anything about Memphis.
Right.
We said
We want Jackson State.
we said Jackson State. So my
Right.
son ended up going to JUCO. He went to JUCO. He
Which
actually
JUCO he go? Which JUCO did he go to?
he ended up going to Itawamba.
Okay.
Uh, and he did 1 year. You know the guy Darius Slade that played with the Eagles. That's who he
Yeah.
played with in JUCO. He
Okay.
played with Darius Slade, and he was a year behind. They were a year behind. I can't even think of the guy name right now. That played with the Baltimore Ravens. So, but anyway, but my son messed up. He chose the streets, right? My son, I love him, but he chose the streets, and he done straightened himself up now. But he had in JUCO, West Virginia, all those schools, but he had a real coach. His D coordinator was a black guy. I'm like, where you want to go? And he said, Jackson State. I said, well, don't worry then. I'll keep those other schools away from you. Don't care what they offer. He said, Jackson State ain't going to have the same to offer. Then he figured out our last name and figured out what was going on. He's like, don't worry. You'll be at but no high school coach
Mm-hmm.
say they had an HBCU, had an HBCU connect. Because the HBCUs don't have the money to put in their pocket. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. Um, I feel you. But my thing is, um, like I said, I'm coming out of Texas. I didn't play ball, so I was in the band when I was in high school. So, but I was so into it, what I'm saying, in tune with sports. That's what I love. Um, I knew kids, dudes that graduate. That was in my graduating class because I graduated 1997 from Cedar Hill. Um, Talking about school back then in the mid to late 90s, it was predominantly white. Um, Probably had maybe like I probably say about 80, 90 kids from my graduating class was African American. Um, some people didn't even they didn't even sniff a HBCU. My aunt, like, for some of those kids to go uh to a HBCU that graduated with me, they talked to my aunt, and like I told you, my aunt graduated from Prairie View. So she said she didn't care if you go to Prairie View or not. She was like, go to a HBCU and get, what I'm saying, see what you like and just experience life. So when I graduated from Cedar Hill, I was the only person. I was the only person from my graduating class to go to Jackson State. The only person. And in fact, let me go back. I was the first person, the first to go to Jackson State. Nobody that ever went to Cedar Hill went to Jackson State. And I feel like, in a sense, I started a trend. You know what I'm saying? I started a trend. So I went to Jackson, but then I had some people that went to like FAMU, Prairie View, Texas Southern. Mr. Ford.
Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
all right, how's it going?
I'm doing good, man.
What's up, Mr. Ford?
Hey, how you doing?
Man, Mr. Ford, we had over 14, almost 1,500 people view that show from Tuesday night.
You blowing up?
We trying to blow up over here.
Yeah, you blowing up, man.
But I want to ask you, for your opinion. Do you think that HBCUs are being used like a JUCO? Is it all, or is it just some?
Anything to hurt HBCUs, the PWIs are going to do it. The NCAA is going to do it. Yeah. Anytime they can steal our athletes, this is nothing new. When I heard Mr. Bakari talking, you listen. I live that. I coached for over 20 years. I've never had a white coach that I worked with to send a kid to a HBCU. Never. The other thing that I thought y'all kind of left out was the fact that the NCAA for the last 50 or 60 years has done everything they can to hurt HBCUs, from rule changes to stuff like that. They had that thing called Prop 48. They've done several things. They've always tried to hurt us. Anything to hurt the HBCUs, the NCAA, white coach, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. Okay. And they've always tried to shield us from. Listen, that was one of the reasons Jake Gaither quit. He quit after the 1969 season, because once this quote unquote integration of the schools occurred, those white coaches blocked him from getting the top black athletes. That's one of the reasons why he quit as head coach at Florida A&M. Go back and look at what Big John Mayer said about integration, and even Eddie Robinson. When I was at Grambling, he always told them kids, yeah, they might have 3 football fields, they might have 4 or 5 gyms, but they don't love you. They don't care nothing about you. They're going to use you up, exploit you, and as soon as they finish with you, they're going to send you back to the ghetto or to the bridge they got you from under. And it was the truth. And it's nothing different. Coach Robinson is deceased. It's still the same thing. It's nothing but exploitation. Somebody said it on your show the other night. We gone from picking them people's cotton, and now we running footballs and shooting basketballs for them so they can make millions and billions of dollars.
Somebody asked
nothing has changed.
Where did you coach at, Mr. Ford?
Oh, man. I've coached at several schools here in Atlanta. Redan High School, North Clayton High School, Colquitt County High School, number of schools.
Okay. You coach Redan. When did you you still coach, or you retired?
I'm not. I'm still in the classroom, but I haven't coached now in a number of years.
Oh yeah, because my son played at he played at South Paulding. My oldest son that I was talking about.
Yeah, South Paulding. Yeah, that's Dallas, or is that Paulding?
Yeah, Paulding County. It's in
yeah.
It was considered Hiram, I think, but yeah.
Yeah, that's on the other side of Cobb County. That's a large county too, man.
That's where my son played, and they had a coach. I gave his coaches, I can't even remember his name now, because I won't lie. Every player that played for him got a scholarship somewhere. I give him that, but he didn't have not one and this is a black head coach, did not have one HBCU contact, not one.
Well, that's not that's not strange, because like you said earlier, it's a money game. When those Power Fives come in, they come in with the bag. Okay? And they come in, I can remember, he's deceased now. His name was Howard Snellenberger. He came to see a kid that was playing for us. He gave the mother like $2,000 and gave the child $5,000. And he was he told him to bring the kid out and the mom out to the airport. He was on his way, I think, to Miami or somewhere. He gave him that kind of money. Like you said, we can't put up with that. We can't deal with that.
Right.
And he was just dropping through.
Yeah. I've heard of Snellenberger.
Yeah, how Snellenberger was that? He recruited Joe Namath from Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania to Alabama. Because Joe Namath was actually supposed to go to Maryland, but he had SAT scores. And so Snellenberger told Bear Bryant about him, and Snellenberger recruited him from Pennsylvania down to Tuscaloosa to the University of Alabama. And now Snellenberger is the one that turned the University of Miami. He won that national championship. I think that was in 84. I think that was 84.
I think it was 83.
Was it 83? Now I know the quarterback that won it was Bernie Kosar.
It was 80. It was 80.
The one that they won, they beat Nebraska. Remember, Nebraska had Rozier, Irvin Fryer, Turner Gill, that crew.
For two.
Huh?
They went for two, and they could have tied it up. They didn't want to tie.
That's right. That's the game. I thought that was in 84. I thought that was January 1st, 1984.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying when they.
Yeah, that was it was Eddie Brown, Stanley Shakespeare, Big Lester Williams. Oh, they had some players on that team, man. But Snellenberger, that was in 84. See, I remember in 79, Snellenberger brought his team up to Tallahassee in Florida and beat them at Doak Campbell.
They sure did. I thought that was in the 80s. I don't
know.
remember.
That was 1979. FAM was coming off the Division I AA championship in 1978. And then they scheduled UM at Doak Campbell in 79 and beat them.
Yeah. Because, one point in time, me growing up, I thought University of Miami was a damn HBCU just because all the black people.
Hey, man, it was Liberty City. Oh, what is it? Overtown, Hialeah. Because he put a fence around Miami. Because before that, see, Oklahoma and all them would come in there because Miami turns out the best backs in the country. They're so durable, man, and all of them are speedsters. And when Snellenberger came in there, he put a fence around Miami, man. He stopped them folks from coming in there.
Yeah, and I it's just, to me, when it comes down to it, I would say this, and I agree with you, Bakari. The parents, the father, basically the father or the grandfather or the uncle that is on the same wavelength of your kid. If you want your kid to have a family atmosphere and you want him to turn out to be a productive young person when they leave out after 4 years, you know what I'm saying? Put a bug in their ear, send them to the HBCU. You have to.
Well, I'm gonna say, Doc. Let me just say this. I'm not trying to cut you off. Let me say this, man. Let me tell you this: 70% of our people ain't gonna do right. 30% of our people, they are sane and rational and gonna do the right thing. But with that 30% that we have their attention, we can have great teams with the 30%. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I've said this over and over, and I've talked to you about this. Talent in the SWAC and in the MEAC is not the problem. It's the people we have in these administrative positions as president, as athletic directors, as faculty reps, as head coaches, as offensive and defensive coordinators. That's our problem. As like I tell people, I was so disappointed in this this year's SWAC basketball tournament. It was ridiculous. And the fact that the people will not express their displeasure with what happened in Birmingham and then calling it a disaster, better known as the SWAC basketball tournament. So what I'm trying to say to you, personnel, recruiting, that's not our problem. Our problem is we have incompetent people in major positions.
Okay.
That's what if you look at all of these SWAC teams now, if you go from 1 to 12, all of them got NFL caliber players on them.
Right.
But they don't all have great presidents. They don't have great athletic directors. They don't have great faculty reps. They don't have great offensive coordinators, great head coaches. That's our problem. It's not personnel. And I'm going to say this till I'm blue in the face. That's not our problem.
Right.
I'm telling you now, if you look at the talent that Jackson State has, Jackson State got top talent. That's not their problem.
Let's see. I'm gonna answer this. It says so you can't get that at a PWI. That's crazy. I'm not saying that you can't get it at a PWI, but if you go into a school like Ohio State that got 60,000 kids that go to that school, you consider a number, bro. Like you're considered a number. Like you.
Yeah, well, see, here's the thing. All y'all got to remember is this. You can run that ball for them PWIs. You can shoot that basketball from. You can run the track and all of that. But one thing you ain't going to get from them people, they don't love you. And that's what you get at the HBCU. It's love. Yeah, like I said, they got all the gyms, all the practice fields, all the equipment. But one thing about it, baby, you just like a horse to them. Once they get through with you, they put you out the pasture. They send you back to the ghetto they got you from. They don't love you.
Hey, check this out, right? I'm gonna say this right. Do y'all remember his name? I think his name was Petway. He played wide receiver for Alabama. Everybody knew this dude was a first-round draft pick. He was a sophomore, right? I'll never forget they were playing Southern Miss. This is probably a good 15 years ago. It was some record they was trying to set in their game. So they didn't take Petway out the game. The game was over. It was about 35-3 with about 3 minutes left to play in the game. The only starter he left Petway and the quarterback in. I forget what record it was they were trying to set. Petway broke his leg in 2 places on the next play after he took the starters out. Could never play football again. When they realized he couldn't play football again after his leg was broken in 2 places, they took his scholarship.
Was this
who is this Chris Dub? Let me ask, who is Chris Dub? He says that's false as hell. What are you talking about, Chris Dub? What's false as hell? What are you talking about?
Because I think what I said was like if you go to a PWI especially to a school that has like between 25, 30,000, 60 shoot. Texas A&M got over 70,000 kids. You are going to be considered the minority at that school.
You're always the minority.
You're always going to be a minority.
You know,
Chris Dub, what are you talking about?
You know
what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You know what school?
What's not what is false?
He's saying that what's false, you ain't gonna have the PWI is giving black kids family atmosphere. I don't see it.
That's a lie.
I don't see it.
That's a lie.
I don't see it.
That's a lie.
I don't see it. I'm gonna say, hold on, because I live in Valley Ranch, North Irving. All right. I am literally like about 25 minutes from UNT. UNT has a population, an enrollment of about 32 to 33,000 kids. If I would have went to that school back then, I would not have a family atmosphere. What family atmosphere would I have? I've been to, and this, I'm gonna tell you straight up. I went to a PWI also. When I left Jackson State in 2000. I left. I came home. I was helping my grandma out. I got my chance to go back to school. What I should have done was went back to Jackson State, but I ended up going to Stephen F. Austin. Okay, Stephen F. Austin probably got about 12,000 kids, but in the end, I'm still considered a minority. I'm still considered, I'm still considered a minority. People that come in from all over the state of Texas or wherever out of town, out of state place you from, if you black, you go to PWI, you are considered a minority. Minority. like I said, when you go to HBCU, hell, you could go to Chicago State, and it's not an HBCU, but it's predominantly black. You ain't the minority, you the majority.
Well, this guy Chris Dub, whoever you are, you need to read your history. You don't know. It's obvious that you misinformed. You really are. You brainwashed.
Hey, but
Because
you know what?
this mess you put into my ain't nobody returning to the ghetto after getting a degree from a PWI. This ain't 1970. Like I said, you need listen. You know what? What you need to do is do some research and do some more reading. Because it's obvious you misinformed.
In fact, here goes the missus. Like I said, she dropping in because she's on a little assignment. She's in Fort Leonard Wood right now, so she's at work. So she's dropping in to say hey to everybody. But what I'm saying is like you consider a minority, like you consider, um, people, kids like, well, we want to have this HBCU experience, but it's not gonna be no HBCU experience at a PWI. Your
What's that?
HBCU experience is gonna be at a HBCU.
What's this guy I was just talking to? Ain't his name Dub? What's his name?
Chris
What's his name? Okay, I'm
Chris
gonna drop this on you right here. I know this is gonna be too heavy for you. Always remember this: white people hate you and have been waging war on you the last 400 to 500 years. If you would pick up a book and find out, that's true. Not only they wage war against you, they done it to the Native American and to the so-called Latino. Okay, start with that.
Hey, you know something, right? I'm gonna show you something, right? If you look at the SEC, look at the ones that have the highest black population without that's not athletes, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know the ones that had the highest is going just about every year. Alabama has picked up a little bit, but for like the last 10 years, it's been Ole Miss, LSU, Mississippi State. Not necessarily in that order because they've been going they've been rotating, right? But it still never get over 13%, right? So this is my thing. We are the only people in the world that is so comfortable being an extreme minority. See, when stuff is done, right? When stuff is done, right? We look at a sport and we are thinking sport, we are thinking football. Everybody else think power. See, people know that black people being together, that can create power. Even if it's just football, it can create power and financial stability for an HBCU because they're going to make the money from their own people that they feel they should be making, right? So what they want to do, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't know it was so much hatred from a generation of black people for HBCUs, man. I'm telling you, man, from 40 on down, I'm dead serious. I did not know HBCUs were hated by black people just to be hated. Some people, the thing is, what they say, that's old to go to an HBCU. We're the only people in the world that would say it's old to go be around your own people. That's old. We're the only people in the world that would say that. See,
we're brainwashed. We're brainwashed people.
We have a culture, right? Black people created the HBCU culture. And I heard this sister say, she was on Jeff Lights, she called in, she was like, well, black people created HBCU culture, but HBCU culture is not black culture. And the reason it's not black culture anymore is what she said is because black people hate HBCUs. Man, look, if you go, I have some, and I never, you never heard me mention my channel because I don't drop my channel like that because I don't even get because the way I speak sometimes, when I'm coming on here, I'm nice. I drop a whole lot of 4-letter words for the most part. But I got one on I named it. Where y'all at? If you want to smoke, you want to smoke, remember the file come with it. That's the name of it. It's like 6 hours. I don't even like to be on there that long. I think it's probably start around like the 3-hour mark. Just listen to how people, and they have no idea what they're talking about, but just listen to how these people hate HBCUs, literally for no reason. But then the more I listened to them, I heard them It's their own insecurities. Well, I ain't go to no HBCU. See, I ain't go to no college. And they think they're better than us. I say, no, they don't. You think they're better than you. You don't find people from HBCUs thinking they're better. I say the HBCU and what people need to understand. The HBCU in the Black community is a microcosm of one another. Both of them been underfunded. Both the college and the people underfunded, been oppressed, been suppressed, depressed, compressed, any kind of pressure you can think of, full court press. It don't make a difference what type of pressure you can think of, right? It's been put on our people in every aspect of this society. But for some reason, a lot of our people, well, they got the boule at the HBCU, but they got coons there. I said, well, so that means it's an aspect of our society, because you got the coons in our community that didn't go to college. You got the coons, don't care what, it's an aspect, it's a microcosm of us. But we have such a self-hate issue where, and what I call it is white arrogance. And the problem a lot of them have is Black people in charge. So can't no Black person tell me nothing, because they don't know more than me. Even though I have never been, even though I don't know nobody that graduated from an HBCU, and I tell people don't go to an HBCU, I still know what they're doing is wrong. So I say, what are they doing? They teach socialism. No, they don't. They teach Marxism. No, they don't. Some people find things, they talk about a lot of stuff on the campus. But if you want your children to know something, so then they say, this is one thing. Oh, well, they ain't teach them to be revolutionary. I say, so you want to wait till your child turn 18 to learn about the people you want them to know. What the hell are we doing at home as parents? We don't do nothing at home as parents. Then we get mad at an HBCU because when they turn 18, they didn't teach them about Robert F. Williams, we will shoot Negroes with guns. They didn't teach them about we will shoot back. They didn't teach. So why didn't you teach them when they was little? So they can already have that in them. We have to stop depending on somebody to do everything for us. If we want to,
can I say this to Tracy and Mac? What this is stupid. I'm not gonna respond to it. This is Trey Mac. This is really stupid what you said. It really is.
Now I'm gonna say this right here. I kept this up right here. College football touche, man. Me and him, we got a bet going on. He said that Jackson State won't win no more than 6 games, and I told him just gonna run me my $100. But this is true. He said you move all the Black tuition and all the Black athletes from all these SEC schools. They will be basic schools and programs, not even a debate. HBCUs, where is that? Always have, always been. I don't see no lie in it. I don't see. I see not one lie about what this man just said. Because if you take all the, because we still talking about athletes. We still talking about athletes. If you take all the athletes from the SEC, from the ACC, from the Big 12, from Pac-12, from even some of the the Group of Fives, and you send them to a HBCU, it don't matter if it's an NAIA, a D2, SWAC, MEAC, Tennessee State, not Central, A&T, Hampton. Y'all will be nothing. They will be nothing. You will be just a regular school and will get beat up on. There will be no excitement. We bring, because I'm saying just like this. We bring the excitement to a game. We bring the pageantry to a game, especially football games. We bring all that. But if you don't got this at your school, you're nothing. You're nothing.
Derek White, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Oh my goodness, we got a lot of people that's trolling up in
Hey, hey, the guy who put in the thing, who gave you a super chat, say, I'm the reason new old generation won't coexist. You know what that means? He didn't hear nothing that I said. He has no understanding of anything that I
That's
said.
I'm telling you.
He had no understanding of nothing that I said. See, and a problem with that, the new old generation won't coexist. This is something else I talk about. This younger generation think ain't nobody supposed to say nothing to them. Whatever they say and do is right. Now, me personally, I mentor children. I do all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not here to try to beat you up. But our youth don't think black, elder black men or older black person can correct them. But older white people correct them all the time in that courtroom, the CO, the PO, older white folks, the police correct them. Old white laws they live by. But me, because I'm 51, or I can't coexist because I want to tell you, or I want to say, I don't agree with that. I respect the youth all the time. Me and one of my homeboys were just talking about my mentoring program and some of the things that we have, some of the things that I've done, and some of the children that I've mentored. I mentored some that went to HBCU, mentored some that didn't. I still love them. They still black. I make the suggestion for HBCU. But to say I'm the reason, mean he didn't listen. He or she didn't listen or had no understanding of what I said.
Right.
We have to be able to hold a conversation, in the conversation out of respect, right? I have a 19-year-old, and right now I have an 18-year-old. My son's soon to be 20, my daughter soon to be 19. I'm a professional dad. I've been dad over half of my life. So
Mm-hmm.
relating to the youth is no problem. I'm a single dad now because their mother passed away when they were little babies. Relating to the youth, I have to know how to relate to the youth because I have to know how to relate to my children.
Right.
But the youth also have to be able to show some type of respect. Respect goes both ways. I don't push nobody around. I'm 51, so be quiet and listen to me. No, I call you young man, young woman, and we're going to hold a real conversation about what you want to do, how you want to do it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So there's a lot, but we have to be able to hold that conversation. I am so Dr. Oz or whatever your name was, I can't remember your Dr. Love. I'm the reason the old generation and the young generation will coexist because I bet you I can introduce you to a whole lot of people 25 and younger. When they see me come and speak to me, seek some of the things that I have to say because I'm 51, but I feel 25 and a half. So the people that 19, I've been 19 twice plus.
Hmm.
So there's things that I can, we think things have changed because we see technology. But this is what I was telling some the other day, right? I say, look at black people condition. The only thing we can say have changed for black people is technology. But our condition and our mindset is the same. You understand? That's it. So we have to change our mindset, then we change our condition. We change our condition by being able to work together and understand one another. I sell these shirts. I say black love plus black dollars equal black power. I got the other ones. Love defeat hate when you love yourself. Everything we're asking other people to do, love us, love us, love us. Stop asking them, look in the mirror, and if we begin to love and respect ourselves, our condition will change. But right now, our condition ain't changing because if we get 50 cents, we want to go give it to other people.
There you go.
Telling the truth. He telling the truth. So I'm gonna go back to the original. I see where Chris Dub was where he was coming from. I think he was agreeing to disagree, and it was just being basically like it debate. And we can all agree to disagree, But when you got people that's ignorant and they don't want to change and they don't want to learn, they don't want to learn their own history, then that's something that I can't get with. I can't get with it. Won't be able to get with it, and that those are people that I have to, you know, my niece and them say you got to cut them off. You got to cut them off. So going back to the original question at hand, are HBCUs used as JUCOs? And I'm saying in a sense of football, like football, basketball, but mainly football. Are we being used as JUCOs? Because remember, back then, y'all remember, if you didn't make it on the field at a P5, like at an Alabama or USC, you go to a JUCO, you play 1 or 2 years at a JUCO, you got your film, you go to another school, you ball out. And most of the time, like I said, we used to have HBCUs used to get the scraps, but now because we have some, if you got a competent AD and if you got a innovative head coach that can go out there and actually speak to these kids, they know what these kids talking about. They know where these kids coming from. They what I'm saying, we've been, they've been in these situations with these kids. Then the recruiting is going to come out there. And it's like me and Mr. Ford said this months ago. In fact, toward the beginning of the year, it is a renaissance. A renaissance is happening back in the HBCU world. And I see it. But what I also see is kids nowadays, they will put in their offers. They say, well, they commit to, let's just say they commit to Alcorn. All right. Come down, they go to Alcorn, they ball out for that 1 year, and then you don't see them again because they gone to, say Power 5 or G5 school. Those are the kids that I'm kind of leery about, because if you're gonna be all in, you know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be all in, you're gonna be all in. I don't want a kid that still got 1 foot out the door, but they got 1 foot in the door.
Yeah, that's double-minded. That's what that is. That's double-minded. And to add on to what you're saying, the only thing, like we are in a renaissance, but what we're missing right now, we're missing the Eddie Robinsons, we're missing the Jake Gaithers, we're missing the W.C. Gordons, the Big John Merritts, the Joe Gilliam seniors. That's all we missing. We got the players, the facilities are coming, the facilities are getting better, but it's these human institutions like a W.C. Gordon, a Eddie Robinson, a Jake Gaither. That's what we missing. The Marino Castles of the world. That's right. What we missing.
Hey, so you know what, Mr. Ford? So this, I also have one of these on my channel too, right? So we have to give a shout out to Coach Tamika Reed.
Yeah, without a doubt.
He turned down some of that money. So when we say we are missing them, I understand exactly what you mean. But that one who was able to turn down, and hopefully we can figure out a way to keep her, but who was able to turn down what other people was offering because she have something to do, she should be put on a pedestal. And I always give her a shout out for when she was strong enough to say no. Reading the article, it crossed her mind. Of course it crossed her mind, that kind of money. But she was strong enough to say no. So we have to give her that type of respect. On that, what's going on? Whoever that was just came
up. That's my guy Willie right there.
What's going on, Willie? Hey, look, I'm going to listen offline. I got to step off because I got to bounce, but I'm going to be listening. Look, Peace and one love to everybody on the panel, everybody in the chat. It ain't number love. Doc, you know I'm gonna always be checking you out, man. Peace.
Yes, sir. Peace and blessing to you. What's going on, Willie? Uh-oh, shoot.
Good evening, everybody. It's good to be on. Doc, I was hoping that you would have this format. I didn't want to be all. I said I would have got myself all shaded up and everything.
Oh yeah,
I'm still there.
Yeah, you good. I don't have no call-in show, so I just this how I do everything right now.
Okay. This is what I want to say. This is how I want to qualify it.
Okay.
I'm 56 years old.
Yes, sir.
I want people to hear what I'm saying. My father was the baby of 13 children.
Mm-hmm.
My family sharecrop 2,100 acres, 1,000 acres homestead. I want you to think about that because I can show you the neighborhood that's built on top of it now. It was taken by the city of Jackson. My family, that's one of the first steps of flipping wealth through our people, how they done our people. 2,100 acres. I want you to understand that.
Yes, sir.
All right, now we're gonna fast forward. I used to think. Now I know all my history. I know a lot of history.
Mm-hmm.
I used to think. Now, Doc, I love Jackson State.
Yes, sir.
Love Jackson State, Alcorn, but I love Mississippi also. I used to think. I used to hate. I used to hate. You know, the concept of Ole Miss and didn't understand until my son was born. When my son was born, he used to love to go and see the bugs he call them bugs, but the lobsters at Kroger.
Uh-huh.
That's one of my favorite stores on 55. Jane Meredith used to frequent that store a lot. And one day I was in there and I was in there to buy some steaks or something. He probably about a year old. And Jane, you know, he would be all out in the parking lot and he'd speak to everybody and he'd say, "Hey, young man, do you know me?" And I told him, "Yes, you Jane Meredith." You know, he was surprised that people would know who he was.
Yes, sir.
And so we got to talking, we got in a long conversation. And the conversation went like, you know, I said, "Why did you leave?" I said, "Why, you know, how did you get to go to Ole Miss?" And he said, well, he had learned everything it was to learn at Tougaloo and Jackson State. He had read every book it was to learn. Well, see, I wasn't a normal student myself. I understand when you in math and science and different things, and they have different equipment and different methods or tools of learning or of engineering or something, you have to go to certain schools, and the only place they are found are at the state colleges. Miss, let me tell you something. Ole Miss, before I get into what James told me, Ole Miss is one of the best colleges in the whole world. In the whole world. The University Hospital is one of the best hospitals in the whole nation. The whole nation in trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So what James told me, he said, I learned everything I could learn at Jackson State. I wanted to go to a school. I wanted to go and learn more. But the fools didn't know why they trying to keep me out. They had black teachers there already teaching, professors.
Yes, sir.
That opened my eyes to a lot of stuff, and I was only 32 years old. I love my state. So I want people out there to think now, just because I pull for Ole Miss don't mean I don't love Jackson State. What Dion had people thinking, not just at Jackson State, the SWAC, the MEAC, but in the whole HBCU in the universe, is we're gonna create a Power 5 in our own. So you wouldn't have these conversations about pipelines and now I wish they did take it back from the junior colleges, because at the junior college level back during my time, graduation, you had technical schools where people get out and get a trade and make some money. But when football took over, that limited a lot of things that could be done or put a lot of obstacles in the way of a lot of people. So, you know, I have a mixed bag on that. But I think that we need to still try to create that same environment in HBCU, in the HBCU universe, to try to create our own powerhouse where we have people coming out and at Southern, Grambling, Prairie View, Texas Southern, Jackson State, Alcorn, Tennessee State, Hampton, all these, we need to have this going on. I'm gonna tell you something else. When I was 15 years old, I used to watch the MEAC. I'm not one of those people that just fell off push yesterday. I used to watch this when I was a kid. I used to watch all of them. Watch all these colleges. I lived in LA for about 2 years. 2 years, and so I was accustomed to seeing UCLA and USC and the Rams and stuff. So I was accustomed to seeing that. So but it was nothing like the Sonic Boom. You know, when I was out there, Walter Payton was playing at Jackson State. But when I got back to the house, you know, he had went to Chicago and all this other stuff. So I'm just giving you a brief history of where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Now, we need to try to move in a direction to where we can build our conferences up. I think the MEAC need a lot of help over there. You know, they need to add them 2 or 3 more teams, but we need to start getting behind our and not have that elitist attitude. What I see on a lot of platforms, not yours. I love your platform, Doc, and I'm glad you gave me the opportunity to speak. Yes, but a lot of platforms, maybe you're affiliated with, and maybe you're not affiliated with. You know, you have this elitist attitude. People have an elitist attitude. You can't have people have different motives. They have different little attitudes they have, and you throw people off. You know, a lot of people, they throw people. Now, I'm not talking about you. I don't think you have that at all.
Nah.
But it's a lot of forums that have this. A lot of forums that should be more than 2,000 or 3,000 subs. They should be up there 9,000, 10,000 subs. But it's because the administrators and the people that you have, those former DDRs, are probably presently DDRs and just hiding. You know what it is. But I like you because you're a straightforward person. I'm the type of person. I'm an independent person when it comes to my politics, but I can sit up and listen to a conservative talk show all day just to hear what the enemy is saying. Any Negro tell me that he's a conservative is out of his damn mind, because slavery, Jim Crow, and all of that foolishness is all conservative rule. I'm letting you know, I know where I'm coming from. Right. So, but I can listen to any type of, long as it's making sense. Now, when it's not making sense, it's just throwing stones, just talking to be talking. I can't listen. I'm allergic to BS. I'm allergic to it. I'm Scorpio. I can't handle that. So I was saying all that to say that, you know, keep up the good work. But I just wanted people to know that we as a people, we need to really try to push behind our conferences. And try to develop our own little powerhouse. Not try to run to the big conferences. Now, true enough, like what you said, if they all didn't go to that, but it's too many people now. It's not that it's gonna always be it wouldn't be like it was now. If all our people came back to our conferences, everybody would be able to beat everybody.
Right.
That's how I really believe that. Everybody will be able to pretty much hound everybody. But we need to, you know, Jackson State need to get out there and get some of them Samoans. They want some of them lines. Thank you for taking my call, man. I wanted to put something on people's mind. I don't do a lot of rhetoric, but I want, hopefully the words that I put on your mind that I said, you know, give you some type of inspiration. Thank you for taking my call, my brother.
Nah, you good. Thank you, man. Thank you. You have a good one, man.
All right.
What's going on? Chris Dub, what's good, man? What's good?
What's up, Doc? How you doing, Mr. Ford?
Hey, how you doing?
Man, I'm all right. I think I spoke to you one time on another platform. I forgot what show it was, but my dad played at FAMU. So
what's your dad's name?
Raven Wiggum.
You know what years?
I want it sometime in the 70s. I think it was like 70, like 73 to like 70. It was sometime along those lines. I
That
forgot
sound
the.
like so he played for Rudy Hubbard.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He did play for Coach
What
Hubbard.
was his position?
He played a little. Well, he came there as a running back, but he ended up playing defensive back.
Okay, so he should have been with Coach Mungeon. He should have been under Coach Mungeon. The guy who was the defense coordinator was a mastermind. His name was Fred Goldsmith.
Yes, I do remember those names. I do remember.
Yeah,
those names.
Mungeon was DBs, and he coached the tennis team. Goldsmith left FAM, eventually became coach at Rice University and Duke University.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a glorious time down there. Old man Jake Gaither was still living at that time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's going on, Chris? What you got to say, man? What you got to
Not
say?
much. For one thing, what Mr. Willie was saying about Ole Miss was absolutely true. I am a graduate from the University of Mississippi, so you know, I kind of have a little unique. I had a unique experience there.
Right.
I come from my whole family went to HBCUs. I had cousins that played ball at Alabama State. So I come from a long line of HBCU graduates. My mom graduated from Spelman back in the day, so I do understand everything that's going on. I grew up in the HBCU household, so I do understand. But I mean, you know, like as far as like, you know, you're a name, and I mean you're a number and not a name. Like that's in some instances, yeah, that's true. But I didn't really see that at Ole Miss like that. I never, you know, had anybody comment my name or anything. I experienced any racism. I don't know of any of my friends that experienced racism there. But
Did you see a Dixie flag while you was there?
I didn't. Now, I did see some in the Grove.
Okay.
I did see some in the Grove. But
and you know what that means, right?
Yeah, I do know what that means. Most definitely know what that means.
Okay.
But you can't tell me every day when I walk past James Meredith statue going to class every day that I didn't belong now. You know? So I know who made the path for me to get there. And you know, I was happy to be there. I was happy to be there for sure.
Nah, you good, man. Shout out to Russell for the donation. We still doing donations for Rolling Fork, so
but listen, I know you don't really like to bring up Coach Prime Doc. You know, I be listening, man. I be tuning in, but I'm that whole little situation just really hurt my nerves because I wanted Jackson State to, you know, win the SWAC, win the Celebration Bowl or whatever, and you know, make a push to get in that P5, man. Cause I was just looking at everybody that JSU was bringing in, and it was just an exciting time, and it's still an exciting time for JSU. I think JSU will have a great season this year. I wouldn't say. I'm gonna just say that Coach Prime, when Coach Prime was saying leveling the playing field, okay, we saw all right. That first year, I understand the scheduling. I understand what was going down the scheduling. You know, he just getting his feet up on them. But that second year, you know, I feel like he should have scheduled more of the top FCS talent and stuff like that. So
yeah,
you know, we can actually see like what the team will do, because the team pretty much just like went through the sweat, man. You knew that. Like you saw the team on paper, you seen them play, you knew that was gonna go through the sweat.
Right.
But
well, one thing I want you to remember, young man, Coach Prime was a liar and a deceiver. Everything he talked about, he threw it away for the bag. Yeah, so in fact, he was a liar and a deceiver.
But I understand where you're coming from, because that's
I understand you're coming from. If we're gonna be real, I mean, it's gonna be reality now. He was a liar and a deceiver.
Yeah, because a lot of us, he see, the way he came about, the way he put himself out there.
Yeah.
Uh, I felt, a lot of us believed that he was going to be there for more than what his contract was supposed to be. But like you said, it struck a nerve because for you to for you to Ole Miss grad to say like that struck a nerve with you, like um I mean that's something major right there because it struck a nerve with a lot of us. And the way, like we said, we we are glad, we was glad when he gave us our 2 SWAC titles and sent us to 2 Celebration Bowls. We were upset just how he left us. You know what I'm saying? You left
Right.
us, you left us high and dry. Uh, I that and not only you leave us high and dry, you start peddling this notion that we wasn't doing the job, we wasn't doing the business right with you. Like we wasn't doing this, we wasn't doing that, and you didn't get this, and you didn't get that. But just like you said, you fulfilled your contract. You fulfilled your contract. You know, we don't we. It's like, look, all we want to me, and I'll say this: all we want is just for you to keep just stay out your mouth, other than giving us things that we gave you a job, and and we won't come after you because you keep putting in this bad press about Jackson State. You keep putting in this bad press about it. Ain't not even about Jackson State because once you start on Jackson State, then you get this illusion that it's every HBCU. You know what I'm saying? Every HBCU got bad business practices. No, we don't have bad business practices. Not everyone. I ain't gonna say. I'm not gonna say all of us. It might be some that is comfortable with how they do their business, and they ain't looking to change. And there's some of us that's looking like, look, this shit ain't going right. It ain't going right. So you might as well we need to change something. We need to change up something. Like I mean, and that's just the way. That's the way that we are. We are trying to. You know what I'm saying? My thing is we trying to move forward. TC is our head coach. He's doing a hell of a job at Jackson. He's doing a hell of a job with the roster that he has, um, with the coaching staff that he put together. He's doing one hell of a job. It's just spring. We don't even know what he going. We don't know how he's going to be when he coaches in the fall. We'll we'll get a glimpse of it on the 15th. But you know what I'm saying? When the fall comes, we don't know what he gonna do. But the thing is, we're gonna ride with him. We're gonna ride for him because he's all about Jackson State and he's all about developing the young men that he has to put a good product out there on the field. You know, if you got a good product out on the field, you fill the seats up. Even when we didn't have a good product, we still filled the seats up. It didn't even matter. We Jackson State. um, but
Yeah.
but
I'm
it's just
my
it's just the
bad.
fact that he just no. It's just the fact that we ain't even worried about it. I don't even. I I think this is the first time in about, what do you think, Mr. Ford, in about what, a
Mhm.
month since I said anything about Prime.
Oh yeah.
It's been a minute. I don't even talk about that. We
Yeah, I was
talk
about to say he ain't worth talking about.
we talk about a whole bunch of
Mm-mm.
other stuff. But I understand where you come from. I understand because you wanted to see something. You want to see something that ain't nobody ever seen.
Nah, listen, so I'm not a fan of the Celebration Bowl. I understand you get the $1.5 million, but I'm not I just don't like the Celebration Bowl. I want a black college. I want an HBCU to win the whole LCS national championship. That's what I want. I want that. I want it to happen in my lifetime. If that can happen in my lifetime, I'll be extremely happy. But that celebration bowl stuff, nah, man.
Well, it happened in your dad's lifetime because he sure did win the national championship.
He did. He did. Cause I grew up hearing those stories. I grew up, hearing about my second cousin is Artist Gilmore. Also, my mom is from Dothan, Alabama.
Hold on, wait a minute. You hear that, Mr. Ford?
Yeah, I grew up watching Artist Gilmore at Jacksonville University. I remember when they played for the national championship. It was Artist and a guy named Pembroke. What was his name? He was the other 7-footer. The coach was Tate Locke. I'm trying to think. What was Pembroke Burrows? That was his name. Because Tate Locke, after they lost, I think, to UCLA, he took a job with Clemson. Yeah, I remember Artist Gilmore. Man, he played with the Kentucky Colonels.
Yes, sir. So I grew up, I grew up hearing about all that ABA stuff and all of that. But but nah, like I really do want to see HBCU win a national championship. That's most definitely something I want to see. And that's what I thought Dion was gonna bring me, man, or bring us. You know what I'm saying? Not just me exclusively, but I thought Dion was gonna. I thought that's what Dion was gonna do. But I don't know, man.
Well, Tam told you what he brought to you. I don't know if you heard what I said, but I told you what he was.
Yeah.
Somebody said Brandon said he was a used car salesman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, but I thank you for coming on, man. Make sure if you jump in anytime, man, bro.
I just want to say one more thing, dog. Hey, I'm a DFW person myself, man. I live in Uptown. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
But
we got hooked up there, bro. Catch me at the Galleria. I work at Liz Galleria, bro.
For sure, man. My office is right there by the Galleria, 5501 LBJ. So
okay,
yeah. But but nah, hey, we do got a nice black culture at Ole Miss now. We do turn up, we do have a good time now. So we just can't, now we might not do a whole lot of the respect as far as fraternity and sororities go, but we do rock with y'all, man. You know what I'm saying?
All right, man. But it's a pleasure for you to come on the show, bro. I thank you for coming on, and keep tuning in, man.
Already, man. Appreciate it.
Anytime,
all right, Mr.
bro.
Ford.
Okay, have a good night, him.
You too.
Oh man, that's cool. That's cool. They even know he related to Artist Gilmore, man. Well, I guess I'm gonna get ready to land this plane right here. There's over 171 people in the chat. Make sure everybody like the stream. You got anything going on, Mr. Ford, this weekend?
Yeah, the Final Four.
That's it. Oh yes,
Final Four.
The Final Four.
I think North Texas is playing UAB right now.
Oh, okay.
For the NIT championship. That's two Conference USA teams, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. This is gonna be a good Final Four. You got the super underdog is FAU.
Yep.
Who are they playing?
FAU is playing San Diego State.
San Diego State. And I told you about them. It's some athletes out there in San Diego now.
Oh yeah.
I done told we don't pay much attention to them because that's the West Coast. And then this UConn team is like a Big East team from the 1980s. That's a strong team. And then that Jimmy, the guy at the University of Miami, I think he's Larinaga's a New Yorker. Mm-hmm. He played for Jack Curran. Jack Curran is the one that gave you, I think he gave you Kenny Anderson, Kenny Smith.
Oh, okay.
Might have gave you Kareem Jabbar. So that's a little New Jersey versus New York as far as the coaching is concerned, because Larinaga's out of that New York circuit. He's from Jack Curran's them tree, and that Hurley boy not Hurley boy, but the Hurley coach of the Connecticut. I think they're out of Atlantic City. Is it Atlantic City or Jersey City?
They
Where's
out of
that
Jersey
St.
City.
Anthony's?
Jersey City.
Jersey City.
Yeah. His pops is yeah.
Yeah, his daddy was a big time high school coach for years.
His dad's legendary. You know,
Yeah.
of course his brother's legendary, you know.
Yeah, Bobby Hurley played with
Duke.
Yeah, what was that? He played with Grant Hill and that crew, Christian Layton and them.
Mm-hmm.
That was their crew.
Yeah, so in fact, both Final Fours, men's and women's, is here in Texas.
Yeah.
The women's is here in Dallas, to be exact.
Right.
And the men's is down there in Houston. So they did, you know, they doing the Texas two-step.
Yeah.
On the women's side, look, I'm gonna just say it just like this. It's gonna be South Carolina versus LSU rematch. I got South Carolina winning.
I hope they beat them bad.
Don Staley is gonna destroy. Their team is gonna destroy LSU again.
Bump Kim Mulkey with them ugly clothes she got on.
But let's see what we got going on this weekend. Other than Friday, stepson got a track meet Friday, and then his prom is on Saturday. So got to get him ready for the prom Saturday. I would be getting interviewed by First Letter. Put it on something. I'll be getting interviewed by him tomorrow, so look out for that, y'all. Come on, Blue. You say you want Adrian Reese to get a ring? Nah, I don't know.
Oh, forget it. Listen,
Leah Boston is about to dominate.
That lady Dawn Staley is doing her impression of John Wooden. Man, this South Carolina thing, this is like a throwback to the UCLA era of the 60s and 70s. This lady got a juggernaut going on right here.
Oh, yeah.
She folds that paper up just like John Wooden used to do.
Man. Oh yes, there are some spring games on Saturday. So I think
are they gonna be televised?
I don't know if it's gonna be televised, but they.
I'm saying, what about anybody doing anything on YouTube? Blue, is anybody doing anything on YouTube?
I don't even know, man. But I know Alcorn.
Southern is yeah.
Southern is Saturday. Alcorn. So Blue gonna be at Alcorn. So if y'all down there at Alcorn, check out my guy Blue Bloods, man. It's two other schools that's doing their spring game tomorrow. I have to look on there again. I mean on Saturday. And then it's another wave of teams that's doing their games on the 8th. Then of course mostly everybody's doing their spring games on the 15th, and then the last bit is doing on the 22nd.
Oh, Blue Blood said he'll have highlights. Okay, all right. Thank you, Blue. I'll be looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna look forward, man. But like I said, I'll be putting on something. So y'all catch me on there, man. And pretty much that's it. Oh, other than that, look, like I said, disaster relief for Rolling Fork. I do have the Cash App. The Cash App has been changed to I'm putting it in the chat. For everybody that that is the new Cash App. So that is the business Cash App right there. So all donations will go to there. I'm trying to raise at least raise $1,000 to help out the people in need. Because man, look, just that town got wiped out, y'all. It's gonna take a long time for that town to get put back together. But let's see. But other than that, I don't think I have anything else for tonight. So catch me on Put It On Something on tomorrow. and Saturday we'll do the prom. So when finish the prom, I'll be back on Saturday night with my co-host She Loves D, and be back on there Saturday night, Mr. Ford.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So
okay.
Yeah, holler at you later.
All right. Have a great one.
You too. Well, everybody. So like I said, this is the Cash App right here. So we're doing all donations. Let's have donations. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, and most of all, subscribe. Subscribe. We are trying to get to 1,600 subscribers. We're doing this little by little, but we're trying to get to 1,600 subscribers. Hopefully by spring game. Want to get it by spring game. I know I'm good, man. My mama raised me that way. My granny, she wasn't no fool, so she wasn't no fool. But I thank everybody for rocking with me tonight. I thank everybody for rocking with me tonight. But as always, we'll be, like I said, check me out on Put It On Something tomorrow, Saturday, Saturday Night Live with me and She Loves D and Mr. Ford. We're gonna be back in this thing. This has been another HBCU OverDrive live stream. Make sure that you like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell to get everything HBCU OverDrive. You want to become an exclusive member, all you have to do is just hit that join button and get everything, all the exclusive, the membership perks, notifications when I go on live. Also, polls out there that I do polls and everything to interact with the people. And I'm trying to start doing some shorts. I've been kind of lazy doing that. But make sure y'all tune in on Saturday. As always, man, y'all be blessed. Y'all stay safe and y'all stay dangerous. I'm out of this thing. Peace.